Alright, back in the gutter.
Hello.
Continuing to murder orcs.
I am still not blackout drunk. Hooray.
And they're murdering them in their natural habitat, a battlefield.
Before we started recording, I was actually about to ask Scott, isn't it nice playing with, like, an actual DualShock 3?
Yeah, they are pretty nice. I don't know, the cheap one I have is just, it's not bad.
Oh, it's fully functioning.
It's not bad.
The only thing the one thing I really dislike about it is that it's like a fucking Wii Pro controller where if you just leave it for a few minutes, it turns off.
Yeah, which is weird.
And it has the most disgusting D-pad I've ever felt. But everything else, I mean, it works.
I don't know. The D-pad actually is working a little bit better.
Okay.
I had to enter, like, my email address 30 times to get Hulu set up. And that really helped break that in pretty well.
Someone
using those.
Someone commented that their work outlived them all.
Yeah. It's the thing that happens.
So who's Gilliman or Galman?
Oh, where did you hear that? Huh?
One of your dudes just asked what in Gilliman's name is that.
Robot Gilliman, or Rowboat Gillyman, as he's known, is the Primarch of the Space Marines. So the deal is, there's the Emperor.
Yes.
The Emperor was the original super badass human.
And that's now the dude in the Golden Throne.
He's now the dude in the Golden Throne.
Okay.
So in the year 30,000, 10,000 years ago, actually longer than that, but a long time ago, the Emperor basically took over mankind because he was awesome and everyone was like, please be in charge. And he started to create the Imperium of Man. And because sometime before, humanity had reached out to the stars, spread itself thin, and now it was all scattered. He set about to bring everyone back together. Okay? So, he did that. The first thing he did, or the first thing he wanted to do, was to create legions of soldiers to help him do that. So the first soldiers he created were the Primarchs. There were 13 Primarchs. Okay? And Rowboat was one of them.
Alright.
Those Primarchs were the basis of the original 13 legions of Space Marines.
Alright.
So, yeah, Rowboat is the Primarch of the Ultramarines.
Alright.
So he is the original, he is the basis of their gene seed. The gene seed is one of the organs that I don't know exactly what it is, but it's one of the things that makes him super badass.
Okay.
And it is incredibly important.
Oh boy. How would pop your special?
This is a train full of dudes.
Yep. That's the dude train.
Look, I know you're pretty acquainted with trains full of dudes. It's okay.
We don't talk about that. Anyway,
But yeah, so most of the Primarchs are dead or gone, or half of them fell to chaos and became giant demons of one kind or another.
that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Because the thing is, in the middle of the Emperor's crusade to unite the Imperium of Man, a whole bunch of his Primarchs fell to chaos, ended up creating a civil war, and one of the Primarchs is the one who wounded the Emperor, sending him into the Golden Throne. And that's where you get the Chaos Space Marines. They're all evil, worship evil Chaos gods. Nice. And they're the main enemies of the Imperium of Man.
Okay.
Them and the demons that they work with and worship.
Yeah.
Now to stop this round.
So again, you haven't played this game before, right?
No.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. I'm wondering if orcs are going to be the only enemy we face through the whole game.
I actually do know the answer to that.
Okay. Because, I mean, it's cool and all, and it really has actually changed my initial thoughts that it's just bad Gears of War.
Yeah, it's really not. Yeah,
it
it's not a ton more than that.
It's not a lot more, but it is.
But it's enough.
Yeah, yeah.
It's enough that it's its own game.
Yes, but still, I think like a change of enemy would be kind of cool, like some different strategies.
No, I actually do know the story for this gets pretty batshit.
Okay.
Like, what's going on now is just kind of like, oh hey, kill some stuff, get used to controls, grab some weapons, then we're gonna throw some crazy shit at you.
Alright. Actually, it's kind of funny that we were just talking about how it's changing my thoughts on it being not a Gears of War clone, but I'm pretty sure one of the Gears of War has a giant fight on a train.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it does.
That was cool.
Yeah, that too. Where I fucking chainsawed his head into mush.
I do love the
And
idea
Oblivion.
of getting health back by
Executing
murdering
enemies.
extraordinarily hard.
Oh yeah, it's pretty glorious. I also love the way their heads pop.
And just their entire
Or their
being.
entirety of themselves and their being.
I do that. One of my favorite little silly things is that even with this ridiculous power armor, there's still like time and reason to put a nice little sash on it.
Oh no, the you talking about the sash at his waist or the ones on the shoulders?
All.
Okay.
Well,
The one on his waist, well, that's flourished to look cool.
yes.
The ones on his shoulders are actually called purity seals. I think we discussed in one of the earlier episodes how they don't actually know how to make a lot of their stuff anymore. So a lot of their versions of engineering are...
Oh, you are very dead.
Oh, yes, I am. Part of what goes into their engineering and maintenance is actually like religious rites
I
and
remember
prayer and
yes.
blessing everything.
I do actually remember you're talking
So
about
those
like gun maintenance and stuff.
Yeah, so those purity seals are actually religious seals put on with like wax to purify and make sure that everything works properly and protects you and to appease the machine spirit and the Omnisa, the machine god.
Okay.
Dude, I'm not kidding. This is very serious shit. If you do not praise the Omnisa, your bolter will not fire right and you will die.
All right.
You know,
so then the next question is like, because again, I just know nothing about this word. Like, does that religion stuff actually work, or is it just they hope it works?
No. Like, I mean, I guess really they never particularly say.
Okay, basically,
But
I
I think the kind of implication I've always gotten is no, it doesn't work. It's really that they just totally believe it does.
Okay,
but they're not cool and they're not orcs, so their beliefs don't matter as much.
Yeah.
It's basically how it goes.
That's what I was wondering, just because I don't know this universe at all, so I was wondering because like in some universes, religion might as well be the same as magic. Where
Yeah.
it, like, just straight up does a thing. He's off the train.
Oh, there it
Oh, hey, it
is.
still worked.
Yeah, it did. And then I'm gonna execute you too. Because your eyes are glowing, and that's weird, and I don't like it. I just don't. These guys are gonna die now. Yeah, no, I always got that it doesn't really work, but the Omnisa is something.
Okay.
There's like something, because it's Mars. Like Mars, our planet Mars,
Yeah.
is actually the homeworld of the Mechanicus. The Mechanicus are basically the people in charge of researching technology, making new technology. They're in charge of the manufactorums. Like, this is one of their forge planets that we're on.
Okay.
They're part of the Imperium. They actually do not worship the Emperor. They worship the machine god, the Omnisa.
Alright.
And while that is like a concept and is not necessarily a real thing, at the same time, there's something down in Mars. I don't remember what the story actually is, but basically there is something in Mars that they're actually worshiping. They're not all full of shit.
Okay.
But
Man, those executions are great.
they don't get that old either.
Nope.
I like how that one's like, oh, let me cut you in half. Nope, gonna smash your face in.
Yes.
Seems normal, seems appropriate. Alright, got my Fury. Fury of the Emperor!
So,
What do you need?
is this Fury system that's in this game, is it just a gameplay thing, or is that
Oh,
something
yeah.
that also exists?
No, that's totally just a...
No, okay.
Ooh.
Oh, you can... Oh, that...
Oh, I have a plasma cannon.
Yes, you do.
Uh-oh.
You can
So-
also tear this thing off and carry it.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, when you first hopped on it, it said press square to tear off.
Well, it is a thing that Space Marines will carry.
You are just...
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's... Okay, well, hold on.
They are just shooting up that corpse.
Yeah, hey, it's what they do. Yeah, plasma cannons. This is actually really cool because it has that heat mechanic.
Yeah.
Plasma cannons in the game, the miniatures game, have a rule called Get Hot, where if you roll the 1 to hit, it actually wounds your dude, and you have to make an armor save or he just fucking dies, which is awesome.
I really love... I love some of the shit on the loading screen. Like, thought of the day, there is only the Emperor. He is our protector and savior, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's great. So yeah, you can totally just tear that thing off.
Oh, yeah.
So, more in the Adventures of Brian, showing his extraordinary knowledge of miniature games and whatnot. So the game is called Warhammer 40k, and the 40k is the year it takes place in.
Yes.
Aha!
The year 40,000.
Look at me figuring it out.
Die.
Oh,
that was not fun.
oh! You pulled a straight up Ryan playing Max Payne there.
Yeah.
And shot that thing at a little too close quarters.
No, I think I just got my fucking head cut off. Maybe both, but I think I just got my head cut off. Because I was at super low health anyway.
Ah, that's true.
I keep expecting the ship to die, but it will not die. But this plasma cannon should be literally putting giant holes in it. With magma. Plasma. Liquid hot plasma. Give me a fucking cannon. Give me. No, I said give me.
We don't swing at the cannon.
Man plasma cannon. Tear off. You're mine now!
Doesn't it also have like a machine gun mode?
No?
Oh.
Well, there are plasma guns, which are rapid fire and can fire more
Okay, because it just
quickly.
said R1 to fire charge shot. So,
Oh, yeah, I can charge the shot.
Oh, maybe that's what you need to be doing. Oh, it shoots
Oh.
very slow and. That was a good one. I think it's gonna drop dudes. Maybe drop dudes? Oh, well, that was. Man, that dude is just taking it.
Yup. Well, when you get hit with a giant ball of liquid hot plasma, there isn't really a whole lot you can do but take it.
Well, I was just more meaning that he managed to take one point blank and not die. It was very impressive.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, man. I really want to hit that with, like, a charge shot, but I'm apparently super bad at this game. I would like my shield back. That's not back. That's, still back.
That's more than you had.
That's more than I had, yes. It stopped me from not dying right there. That's
yeah.
For sure.
So, earlier we had talked about how you get to, like, basically make, saving rolls when your character, like, dies and you can come back. Is there, like, overkill in the game, or there's things you just don't get to make your saving roll?
Oh, yeah, there's lots of them.
Okay, alright.
This is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
That's why, yeah. That is actually a very good point. When an orc gets hit in the face with a cannon like that,
yeah,
he does not live. They die. Also, there's actually mechanics for auto-death, too, because you have, like, a wound system, so some characters who are super tough and badass have multiple wounds.
Yeah.
And you can have things that just auto-kill you, because they're so, like, powerful. Like, missile launchers are like that.
Yeah.
That's why, yes, their basic guns shoot rockets, you should see the fucking rockets that they shoot.
Alright, yeah, that's cool. So it's...
Oh my god, can this... There we go!
Oh, that's a battering ram, apparently.
Sure. I mean, that seems appropriate. Orcs would actually just make a ship, put a bunch of shit on it, and then ram it into crap. I think we're gonna see one later in this, but... the orc spaceships, the largest ships that they have, are called rocks.
Okay.
They're asteroids that the orcs just attach engines and stuff to until they have enough stuff on it to make it move. And then they just carve out pieces of it to build ships out of asteroids.
Alright, that's pretty rad.
It's ridiculous. Ooh, the Inquisitor. The Inquisitors are my absolute favorite part of the 40K universe.
I think you've told me about them. There's a book you keep telling me I should read about an Inquisitor, right?
Eisenhorn. If you can manage to find a copy, the Eisenhorn trilogy by Dan Abnett, Abbnett, I think.
And you have it, right?
I do.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's about an Inquisitor. Servo Skull.
What?
Yeah, what? You don't have those things?
This is just a flying, scanning skull.
Yeah, it just sends information and all sorts of shit to the Inquisitors.
It apparently works for the Inquisition?
Yeah. The Inquisition is literally what you think it is. It's the Spanish Inquisition. They are the highest power in the Imperium, above even the High Lords of Terra, the government, the FBI. They're the CIA and the NSA if they had a baby and that baby was God.
Okay.
Like, I mean, they're at an absolute power. They could do whatever they want. And of course, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, in the fact that they are protecting, mankind from evil things, they also have the greatest ability to fall.
Okay.
But there's different branches, and they're super cool because basically every agent of the Inquisition, every Inquisitor, has carte blanche to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So they get a mission and they just execute it however they feel like. So, they tend to gather weird followers, and they have ultimate authority, so no one can tell them no.
Yeah.
So they're the only person. If they somehow met an orc, and that orc was willing to work with them or work for them, they just could. And they could bring that orc wherever they wanted. If that orc was with them, no one would fucking do a thing.
Alright.
Like, that's the kind of power that they hold.
Are they playable in the miniatures game? Or are they
Yes.
story? Okay.
They're a faction, but, like, they themselves are people.
Yeah.
They are very rarely super powerful beings.
Yeah.
They're more often detectives, administrators. Like, their kind of purpose is to find the horrors and then send something after them.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes they're super badasses. Like, they're usually not slouches, but they're not space marines.
Okay.
They usually don't have power armor.
Alright.
Some of them do, because again, they do have pretty much ultimate power, but
Yeah.
you do have... you do have, like, super badass dudes sometimes. But they're a faction in the game, and the Inquisitors themselves are, like, your HQ units, so they lead the army, and then the stuff that they bring with them tends to be a little bit different
Okay.
and weird. Also, their faction kind of sucks in the miniatures game, which is weird, but they just kind of haven't put all the work into what they need to do to make a super cool faction for them.
Okay.
But they have some of the best fiction, and they
Yeah.
always show up in
That
the
would pop your ability.
best ways.
'Cause it also heals you.
Yes, it does. You know, I really think if the execution thing gave you iframes, this game would be too easy.
Yeah.
Because you would actually just link those together endlessly
That
and
is
kill one enemy at a time. You could just walk through the game.
That is really true.
You kind of have to have it be the way it is.
That is really true, actually.
Especially because of the proliferation of melee in this game.
Yeah. Well, what they could do is change it to the startup of the execution, like right before you really get into it, has a hurt box, and you can be knocked out of it. But once you successfully start an execute, so it would still cop you. Yes, words is hard. It would stop you from spamming the shit out of it in a big fucking firefight, but would also really reward you when you got one. I don't know. But you are right. I don't think there's like a perfect way to do it. That's a nice camera angle.
Yeah, I was kind of focused on not dying as opposed to changing it, but yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I heard the furious mashing of the clicky buttons
Yes,
there.
there we go.
That was please God activate. Please God activate.
Yeah, let's just get through this part here. I thought I could kill him without it. Those should be knobs. Knobs are just generally very powerful orcs that are in charge of a lot of people. They're usually not the guy in charge.
Okay.
But you see how big they are?
Yeah.
Literally, the bigger you are as an orc, the more important and powerful you are.
That makes sense. That's
pretty
pretty much all orc lore.
Yeah, so you can imagine how big the bosses are.
Yeah. That's cool.
Reach the Titan Manufactor.
Also, our name seems to be Captain Titus.
Sounds about right. So yeah, I don't know if you picked up the little part where there was a experimental weapon.
Yeah, that's
somewhere.
Yeah, the Inquisitor was.
That's what he said. That's why we couldn't just exterminatus this planet, that and the Titan. So he wants us to find it.
Okay.
I think is what he said.
Hey, this is the E3 chapter when this game was first coming out, when it was showcased at E3 in whatever fucking year that was. This was a section they showed for the gameplay area. Little facts. Bomb
Makes
dogs.
sense.
Bomb dog. Another multiple bomb
Shoot!
dogs.
That's okay.
So
getting a lay of the land,
yeah,
seeing where things are, getting used to where the God damn bomb squigs are.
So I'm going to hazard a guess that pretty much all of these enemy types we're seeing from the orcs are playable.
Usually, I don't know if bomb squigs are really a thing.
Oh, okay.
They might be. Squigs are more in the fantasy version.
Alright.
They show up as like mounts. Because goblins, there's more goblins.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so the squigs end up being mounts. Or there's giant squigs that they use to like eat people. In the 40K version, you have like vehicles and all sorts of stuff, so bomb squigs don't tend to be as much of a thing.
No, I see.
But yeah, otherwise, everything here totally is like legit.
That's cool.
Also, it looks like this is the Bad Moon orc clan, because the thing is, orcs totally have all their own lore and story and stuff. Damn it. They're just as complicated as, like, the Imperium.
That's cool.
And the Bad Moon orcs are the ones known for having, like, the coolest weapons. And they're the richest orcs, I'm pretty sure.
Alright.
So they, of course, would be the ones to attack and try to scavenge a forge planet. Because they know it's full of all the most badass weapons they can get their hands on, and they want them.
Okay. So then there's probably like somewhere in like the orc faction, there's probably like your more traditional fantasy orc that's like just like savage and doesn't have any like want or need of like fancy weapons.
Not as much. Like they kind of do, because they all want to be awesome.
That makes sense.
But there's like these guys are just the ones specifically known for having the fanciest weapons.
Okay. Well, that was a nice little double squig kill. Again,
See, this is one of those parts where like running into shit is not the way to do this.
Yeah, and again, I know you've told me that you pretty much refuse to use it, but you do have a combat roll for when like your grenade icon is going fucking crazy.
I say.
The button.
I hope that Mike can pick up my nonsense noises.
The button is circle if you've simply just forgotten how to combat roll.
No, I know it's there.
Alright. Standing in front of all the bullets is far superior than rolling out of the way.
There's no cover system.
But
So
there's a
obviously-
combat roll to move out of the way behind a piece of landscape.
There's also headshots, which I didn't really perform there very well.
Not really.
That's not the point! Actually, it is not circle, it is X.
Oh, well.
So, good job on knowing how to play the game you're not playing.
Well, the
jackass.
guide I looked up when I wanted to make sure there wasn't a cover system told me it was circle, so the guide was wrong.
Yeah.
It worked out in everyone's favor.
Come on now. Stupid fucking drops. Let's see, some of my favorite orc stuff we haven't seen yet. I'm not sure if we will. Because two of my favorite orc things are Killicans and Dreadnoughts. They have their own versions of Dreadnoughts.
Now I want to show Killican's Island, where it's like an orc on an island.
Killicans are basically little walker vehicles that a grot will get into, and it'll have like big chainsaw hands or like saw blade hands or something.
Nice.
For weapons, and it'll have like a big giant gun on one side. They're just hilarious. And then they also have their own version of dreadnoughts, which always
That dude was just like trying to run away.
yeah. Well, the thing about orcs is they're super like badass and strong and brave in massive numbers.
Yeah.
And the more that die, the more that they go, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Nice. Well, much like an orc, we should talk about shit some more next time on Drunken Gaming.
Get out.
Yes, we must get out.
Get out.
Like an abandoned orc. There, I finally finished my joke. I lost it like halfway there, but
There you go.
I got it at the end. That's what's important.
Go.